I need thee every hour. I need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Savior. But I come, not my friends and my family, but I come to thee. Let's look chapter 16, if you will. Pass it by us for just a few moments. Chapter 16, verse number 20. Verse number 30. And he brought them out and said, Sir, what must I do to be saved? Acts chapter 16, verse number 30. What must I do to be saved? Now, I know that all of you are seasoned Christians, so I'm not getting here to preach about the salvation experience for the believer. But I am concerned about what consummated the moment that we find in the apex of this text that brings a man to the point of salvation. Looked at the text last night a little bit. I found myself in the same position as I am in tonight. That I've got to deal with the text that seems strange and a group of events that do not make any sense. Paul finds himself, after receiving the call that he has upon his life, mandated to do some stuff that he did not expect to do. He received what's called the Great Macedonian Call. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, it was a Macedonian call. He was planned on going somewhere else, but he was stopped midstream and forced to go another direction. Listen to me, if you ever become a believer of God, that God will always redirect your life. Many times you've had ideas and goals, plans and desires that you were going to do this or do that. But somewhere midstream, because you're being led by God, he leads you a different route. Now Paul finds himself in that position. And the truth of the matter is sometimes being led of God will bring you against opposition in your life. Now there are some folks that believe if you're being led by God or directed by God, that you will not experience persecution or opposition. But brothers and sisters, I hasten to tell you tonight that those that live godly must suffer persecution. That right living, doing right, staying right, being holy, being submitted to God will not exempt you from going through some hell. I got anybody in here that know that they're saved, but they still got issues with your body. You know that you love God, you live right, you're trying to raise your children right, but every night they act a fool because right living does not exclude you, guess what, from hellish situations. You just got an insurance policy when you go through the situation, that the blessed assurance of Christ that he'll bring you through. Look at somebody and say, I've been through some hell, but I got an insurance policy in the midst of what I'm going through. The text is beautiful because what unfolds in this particular text is that Paul finds himself going there. When he gets there, there was a woman that has an issue in her life. She's this woman that seems to have a soothsaying spirit. And she begins to predict and make all kinds of accusations and say things. And Paul is exhausted at the display of her demonic power. You got to understand as a believer that God gets upset when Satan begins to flaunt his wings in the church or around the things of God and look like he is the crowning prince. He gets upset, he's frustrated, and he casts the demon out of this woman. Now watch when he casts the demon out of the woman, the response of the people. Now there are some people that live in the place of enjoying when people are bound with issues. Now the woman demon possession was an issue in her life. Her master made great gain out of her addiction. Brothers and sisters, that many times in your life when you have issues that are going on in your life, there are people that make merchandise out of the fact that you're bound. Because you're lonely, they make merchandise out of of the fact that you're bound with loneliness. When you're sick because you can't do for yourself, they capitalize on the moment and make merchandise out of your condition. I ain't got no help in here, so I preach to myself. But sometimes in your life that there are people that love you or say they love you, that they're only with you because of what they can get out of you, not necessarily because they're concerned about you. Haven't you seen that false sense of confidence? Because they can milk the cow, a little bit more milk out of the cow, they suffer to love you or to deal with you a little longer because of what they can abstract from you, not necessarily because they care or concern about you. In this text, they find the woman in the very same position. Now, once his cash cow runs out, then his attention turns. You got to understand that sometimes in your life, there are people that are in your life for what they can get out of your life, and when they find out that the cash cow or what they can redeem from your life is over, then they want nothing to do with you. But their frustration is not the fact that you can't make money the way you used to make it. Their frustration is they can't profit off your ways or your destruction or your demise, your separation from God. They can't profit off your life any longer. Let me say it like this. There are some people that get frustrated because they can't do you the way they used to do you because you've been set free. They lack the fact that you're bound. They lack the fact that you're in a jacked up and impoverished situation. They lack the fact that you need them. But the moment in your life where God flips the page